What is going on, guys? So I just dropped my neighbor off to some random spot that's like 20 minutes from my house, and I don't even know the dude that well, and it's definitely a situation I wish that I wasn't in. He gave me $5 for gas, which isn't even going to cover this. And it's really just one of those situations that could have been completely avoided had I just said no, but I'm a nice guy, and therefore my niceness has once again gotten me into a situation I could have completely avoided. Anyways, I figured now would be a great time to go over some of my random thoughts and opinions I have floating on in this big dumb brain of mine that I want to share with you guys. And I guess this is the best time to do it, or whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But please excuse the shitty camera recording and terrible audio, everything that goes around videotaping. I'm sure this looks like shit. I'm using my phone, which is pretty old, and I'm using the front camera, which has worse resolution, but I need to be able to see myself because I'm bouncing in and out of frame. Also, my phone has about 10% battery. The card is completely full almost, and I might need to use my maps to figure out how to get back home. So a combination of all three of those, this video may abruptly come to an end. So, just a heads up. So, anyways, what I wanted to talk about today was, with my recent return to YouTube, after having been gone for, well over a year, I've noticed a lot of changes with YouTube that has drastically altered the landscape of YouTube, and I think it's very much for the worse. And I wanted to share my thoughts and opinions on these. So, with that said, these are my thoughts, my opinions. That doesn't mean they're right, or are they the majority feelings on the matter. They're just mine. So keep that in mind when you decide to go in the comments and tell me how much of a fucking idiot I am. Also, yes, I did cut my hair. It's drastically shorter. So also feel free to tell me how much of a drug addict I still look, because I know you guys love to do that. And also, why I cut my hair, a couple of reasons behind that. One, I wanted to look a little nicer, as I might start looking for a new day job. Not that I dislike my current job, I actually like it a lot. I work for an SEO firm. I'm the writer slash video editor, video manager. And for all the things I do, I really could make quite a bit more going somewhere else. So, I might start looking for a new position at another place. Hence the haircut and cleaning up my image. Also, other reason I cut my hair, and this is something that most guys don't want to talk to, but it is the inevitable truth about getting older, is I'm almost 32 years old now, and as the years go on, I've noticed my hair has become quite a bit thinner, especially in the back. And having extremely long hair, those types of things really show, and you can really notice the thinningness when my hair was especially longer. Especially me, I'm the type of person that really obsesses over things, and when it came to my hair, I found myself just staring in the mirror, holding another mirror on top of it, trying to look at the thinning spots, and making peace with the truth that I am in fact losing my hair. That's something that happens to a lot of guys. It sucks. It's what happens with getting older. And so I cut my hair, and now that it's much shorter, it actually looks a lot thicker, and I'm quite happy I cut it. And I'm probably going to continue to wear shorter hair like this. But the reason I wanted to mention the truth behind it, and that somewhat embarrassing reason, is this is the route I want to go with all my videos going forward. I want to be as honest and transparent as you guys while pointing out the hypocrisy surrounding YouTube that I notice. So that doesn't mean I want to make videos calling out YouTubers just to call them out to cause drama. I want to make videos calling out the bullshit and hypocrisy that I see and that we all see, but no one wants to talk about because when it comes to YouTube, the only time there really is a community is when there's an opportunity for larger YouTubes to all join dicks together and go after the little guy that tries calling them out on their bullshit. And I see that happening all the time. And it is what it is. It's YouTube's kind of become this totalitarianism place where all the big guys get to set the rules about proper etiquette surrounding YouTube, and everyone else has to fall in line and oblige to it. And any questions are going to be met with extreme hostility and complete exilism from this whole non-existent community that is the retro gaming scene. And that's what it is, and I know a lot of people agree with that, but people are scared to voice their opinion on that for the reasons I just listed. Me, however, I don't care about who I offend. I've been on YouTube for a long time now. I'm not here to make friends. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I pretty much know and have met all the bigger YouTubers in the scene, all the bigger YouTubers in this whole gaming scene. At one point, I considered a lot of them good friends of mine, but as time has gone on, and especially during my departure from YouTube, I noticed how shallow, superficial, and really non-existent YouTube friendships are. What it comes down to is, for most people, a YouTube friendship is only as good as how high you can help that YouTuber climb the virtual ladder of YouTube popularity. And once you can't do that or get them up on a higher rung, you are no longer useful to them. Point in case, one of my best friends on YouTube, or so I thought, used to be Jordan Fringe. I love Jordan. He was an awesome dude. I still think he's an awesome dude. I used to talk to him all the time on Skype, just one-on-one. Me and him would, shoot this shit for hours. He even came and stayed at my parents' house for a week after too many games a couple years ago. And if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure I even paid for his plane ticket flying back home with some of the YouTube ad revenue that we were making at the time. So, with all that, yes, Jordan Fringe used to be a very, very good friend of mine. In fact, I considered him one of my best friends. Now, when I moved to Florida, actually the day I moved to Florida to receive help for addiction treatment, Jordan unfriended me and unfollowed me in every social media platform there is, because now that I wasn't going to make videos anymore, what good am I as a friend? Which, that's the sad truth of what YouTube does to people's ego and everything, and it sucks, but it is what it is. And nowadays I have pretty much had a falling out with everyone I used to talk to. These days I really only talk to two YouTubers that would be considered bigger YouTubers, outside of D, of course. I still talk to D regularly. D is one of my very best friends, and I love him a lot. He's a great person. I have nothing bad to say to him. And during my trip of receiving help for addiction and help and everything, D was more than supportive behind it all, and that really means a lot. So, like I said, I have no qualms with D, no issues with him. There was no falling out between us. We are still tight friends. But in regards to all that I just said, as far as YouTube really doing a number to one's ego and really causing a person to turn into an asshole, I myself am no angel when it comes to that. During our short rise on YouTube, when D-Dave really took off for a while, I know it changed me as a person too. I saw my ego really drastically growing, and my girlfriend pointed it out quite a few times. I remember watching the subscriber count grow and thinking to myself, do we have enough subscribers now to launch a Patreon? Which I know is the thoughts of many people's, many people on their opinion with YouTube is, I can't wait to be big enough to launch a Patreon, which is sad, but it's the truth. I, for one, have no problem with Patreon. If you put out enough content, or the type of content that takes a lot of work, and you want to put out a Patreon, go for it. It's really up to the fans and the viewers to decide if your Patreon is well deserved. If you should be getting extra money from your fans or whatever to continue making the content that you produce. If fans don't believe it's necessary, you're not going to really see yourself getting any donations. I look at Patreon as kind of like a tip jar, and I think that's the best way to look at it. With that said, I also have a lot of issues with Patreon. A big one is I don't like when YouTubers hide content behind a Patreon wall, such as, oh hey, I have this great podcast or this whole series of videos that you guys would love to watch, but you have to donate to me at least $1 a month to see those things. I think that's kind of bogus, but it is what it is. Another thing I dislike about Patreon is I feel like a lot of YouTubers disguise Patreon as a way for their viewers to connect with them on a higher level. And what I mean by that is a lot of times Patreon gets disguised to be as, hey, if you donate me money on a monthly basis, we're going to be real friends in real life, and I'm actually going to notice you and, talk to you on a real level instead of, continue to ignoring all your comments that you post on my videos like most YouTubers. I hate that. That's a big thing I really hate about Patreon. I think it's sleazy. All around, it kind of disgusts me. And it also kind of ties into the new trend of live streaming. I see a lot of bigger YouTubers live streaming pretty much whenever they have a chance to, just to really scoop up those donations, because for whatever reason it's become this customary thing where you're expected to donate to your favorite YouTubers every time they live stream, which is like, why has that become such a big thing? It's like, oh, you're playing Mario 2? Here's $20. Like, what the fuck? Why is that a thing? It's become ridiculous, and so many YouTubers are just taking advantage of it, where it's really become like a lot of people are putting out less content and relying more on just putting out live streams that take absolutely no thought, effort, all of the above, because they collect more money at a more rapid pace. And that's, I fucking hate that. And I don't know why it's become such a big thing, but I think that needs to be addressed, and some type of rule needs to be established on like how much money you could receive during the live stream, or if that money's going to a worthy cause like cancer or whatever, that be an exception. But I'm tired of seeing people live streaming 24/7 just to scoop up as many donations as they can. And also, the next thing I wanted to bring up was Metal Jesus Rocks, because like the title of this video, I have some opinions on Metal Jesus I wanted to share. And I guess I'll start with my interaction with Metal Jesus. So the only time I've seen him in real life was at a convention, and I saw some fan come up to him and, get down on the ground and start kissing his shoes and saying, not worthy, all that stupid shit. And Metal Jesus kind of stood there with like this kind of like smug expression on his face, like, yeah, this is what I live for. And then, of course he was like, oh, get up, you don't need to do all that. But you could just tell that, like, he was just eating it up, and it was disgusting. But as far as me ever talking to Metal Jesus or conversing with him, I've never had a situation like that. The only time I've ever heard of him even like acknowledging us, or if he does in fact know who we are, was back when me and D used to be friends with Wood and RGT85 and all those guys. We were all in some pretty big unhealthy competition to see who could grow the quicker. And at the time, our channel D-Day really took off with a combination of that stupid selling shit back to GameStop video that went viral, and then for whatever reason we were featured on Drama Alert. At one time we got like 20,000 subs in a month, which really just put us ahead of everyone else. And during that, I remember Wood commented to me that Metal Jesus had commented or had sent a message to Wood saying, "I'm not sure if I can continue to make videos with you or feature you on my channel because you are friends with D-Dave, and I just think they're bad guys and have a bad reputation, and I don't want to be associated with them, blah 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 blah." Whether or not that's actually true, I have no fucking idea. It could be true, it could not be true. I don't know. Something I'll never know. But I said that because it's the only time I've actually interacted with him. Now, the reason I'm bringing him up is because Metal Jesus has a Patreon where he gets something like, $3,000 to $4,000 a month, in addition to all the money he makes on, ad revenue and other companies sponsoring his videos and stuff. If you look at his Social Blade, for the past 3 years, he's been getting consistently between 3 million to 4 million views a month. Now, doing the math, the best rule for thumb in figuring out how much money a channel makes in ad revenue is I usually go by $2 per 1,000 views. It could be more than that, it could be less, but that's a pretty good number to go with. That you're gonna get somewhere around the right answer. So, going on the low conservative end, saying he gets 3 million views a month, that means he's making $6,000 a month in ad revenue. Quite a lot of money. 6,000 times 12 is $72,000 a year. Right? Is that correct? Yeah, that's right. A lot of money, and I'm sure he has quite a bit more too, because his channel is quite family friendly, meaning advertisers are more readily to have ads placed on his videos because they know it's family friendly. So the silent bid that goes on between advertisers when they're trying to find vids to have their ads placed on, he's probably going to get a higher amount paid for them. So it'd probably even safer to say he probably makes somewhere closer to $10,000 a month than $6,000. A lot of fucking money, right? That's not to mention that he also gets a lot of companies to sponsor his videos and a lot of indie devs to pay him money just to make videos about their little stupid game that's coming out. So the dude is making a lot of fucking money. It's safe to say he probably clears about $100,000 between all those avenues for YouTube. A lot of money. Now, he also has a Patreon. That's not including how much he makes on Patreon. So say he makes $3,500 a month on Patreon. That was a bad number to go with. Say he makes $3,000 a month on Patreon. That's an additional $36,000 a year he's making. Now, I don't feel like he needs a Patreon. I'm sure a lot of people agree with that. I feel like it's at the point where he's got so many subs and making so much money on his videos that having a Patreon in addition to that is really just getting greedy, and it's unnecessary. And I feel like there should be some type of unwritten rule where if you have X amount of subscribers or you make X amount of money a month from your videos, that you really shouldn't have a Patreon. And I feel like everyone really needs to start following that rule. And, what would I say that would be? I don't know. I'd say if you're getting about 2 million views a month plus that you really shouldn't have a Patreon. And another thing a lot of channels do with Patreon is they like to hide the amount they get. And I feel like if you're hiding the amount of money you have on Patreon because you get that much, that you really shouldn't have Patreon either. So, that's my thoughts on the whole thing. Just my opinion. Like I said, whether or not it's right or not, that's up for debate. But I wanted to share those thoughts. And also, the other thing I wanted to mention was Metal Jesus, I guess, had this whole flooded game room thing, which, sucks. I'm sure it's going to cost a ton of money to have fixed, but I also noticed the video he made about the flooded game room has something like 500,000 fucking views. I mean, you got a couple $1,000s for the video itself, which is going to pay for quite a bit of the damage. And because he made the video, and because he brought to attention to all of us that the flooded game room was a thing, a lot of people decided that they're going to start donating him extra money to help pay for the flooded game room. He didn't come out and say, hey, please donate me money because of my flooded game room, but was the video really necessary? Do you think he would have made the video about the flooded game room if there was no possibility of getting extra donations or extra tips, whatnot? I don't know, just a little food for thought I thought I'd leave with you guys, and you guys can ponder that yourselves and come to the conclusions you will. Anyways, those are my thoughts about YouTube in their current state. I'm almost at my house miraculously, and this video went on for about 20 minutes, which is way too long. But I'm going to end it here, and I'm not going to edit it at all. I'm just going to post it as is, so you guys enjoy the jumbled mess. Thanks, guys. Much love, and I'll see you guys later.